Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Louisville Leopard Stadium as we are here for the 2024 Ring of Honor for the Louisville Leopard Football program. I'm Rob Johnson, and we'll be with you just here in a few minutes as the latest inductee for 2024 will be Tom Chlebech. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll be back with you here in just a few minutes after these messages.
Hello everyone, I'm Tegan Evans. As many of you know, when the Louisville Herald moved on into retirement, the city of Louisville, Nimishillen Township, and all of its community members were left with a void. The community lost its ability to hear about local events, news, information, sports, and community projects. We lost the ability to come together for Louisville's betterment. Well, we have a solution for you, Spotlight Media Network. Spotlight Media Network is a place anyone can go, whether it be social media, YouTube, or our website, that will display information in different formats to show the best Louisville has to offer. One last thing, if you have something newsworthy or something you would like the community of Louisville to hear about, send us an email at spotlightlouisville1@gmail.com. So if you want to see what is happening in Louisville or the best Louisville has to offer, check out Spotlight Media Network, where we know Louisville is #1.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm your host, John Aljancic, and it is my honor to host this Ring of Honor ceremony. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest joining us here. Class of 1966, Stark County High School Hall of Fame legend, Tom Chlebech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, before we get going, I want to give a special thank you to Dr. Mike Thomas and Thomas Dental and Associates, as well as Miss Michelle Schaefer, our superintendent, and the rest of the administration here at Louisville City Schools, our school board, Ted's Auto Sale, Langenhold Cutler Realty, and Steven Spencer. Without their sponsorship, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you very much. If you guys could all rise and join us in the playing of the national anthem. Thank you.
Tom Chlebech, a 1966 graduate of Louisville High School. Tom is a former player, teacher, and coach for the Leopards. He was the 1965 WHBC Stark County Most Valuable Player and pile-driving ball carrier on the 1965 Leopard Football team. A North-South All-Star football game participant, he had big roles on offense and defense for the 1964 team that went 10-0. He set single-game records for rushing yardage and points scored. After high school, he received scholarships for both football and baseball from the University of Cincinnati, where he led it in both sports, and he was the most valuable player of the Bearcats baseball team in 1970. Tom eventually came back to Louisville, where he became a head coach in both baseball and fast-pitch softball for Louisville, along with being an assistant coach for the Leopard Football team. His talent, drive, and work ethic helped mold Leopard football into what it is today. It is our great honor to induct Mr. Tom Chlebech.
But my story is when my junior year, that was the year that Bob Lodger was going for the record. Came down to the last game, the fourth quarter, probably on our last drive, led the sweep as a lead blocker. I wanted Bob to score. I blocked the end. By God, I knocked him right on his edge. But the play is not over. And just at that time, I made it to the defensive back. And I really flat his edge. And I was proud of myself. Nobody in the ballpark knew what happened but me. I had two good blocks in one play.
Tom Chlebech.
Well, the first to honor Tom tonight is a legend in and of himself, my former classmate as well, class of 1993, and the Stark County Player of the Year as well. Touchdown Club President, Brian Beatty.
Thank you, John. To start off, I want to thank Dr. Mike for this event tonight. I'll start with Coach Chlebech. I had the great honor of Coach Chlebech being my running back coach and my baseball coach when I was in high school, and I think he even taught me accounting class, if I'm not mistaken. But Coach Chlebech's a great man. He's a very humble individual. I've heard many stories. I was just the other day with Mr. Parrish, the former athletic director, and he told me stories that kids would come in the classroom and says, "Hey, is that your name on the jersey out there in the cabinet retired?" He goes, "No, it's the same name, but it's not mine." So he was a very humble individual. As a coach, a very calm. He wasn't a screamer or a yeller, but he was a teacher for sure. A story that kind of went along when I went to college was at the University of Louisville. The old baseball field had a highway or an expressway that kind of went through the outfield past the home run fence. And the legend is that Coach Chlebech hit one over there.
And Babe Ruth is what I've been told. So they're the only people to ever clear the expressway. But once again, this is an honor, a great event, and a great individual. Thank you.
All right, next up, class of 1991, and one of the players that really helped Louisville football get back on the map there after some tough years in the 80s. Former head coach, former assistant coach, and now a current head assistant coach.
All right, thank you, John. First of all, it's an honor to be here to talk about another legend from Louisville football. For me personally, I became a Leopard in 1982 when I went to my first football game. And as in Louisville, as everything else goes, you get stories passed down about the legends of Louisville football. And I'm all about learning about the legends of Louisville football. One of the names was Tom Chlebech. And so for me, I never got a chance to see him play. But as a coach, as a freshman football coach, I first got introduced to Coach Chlebech. And right off the bat, you know that this Leopard legend is a humble person with a quiet confidence that's impossible not to like. He's just charismatic, and I gotta imagine after watching some film like that, in terms of him as a teammate and what he said here on the film about doing things for other people, that's the kind of person he is. That's the kind of player he was, that's the kind of person he is, and that's the DNA of Leopard football, is doing things as a teammate for others, and fortunately for you, you're recognized as one of the elite Leopard football players. Again, just an honor to be here around you. I consider you one of the greater people that I know. Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you, Troy. Next up, our current head coach in his second year, Coach Chris Kappas.
I didn't see any of our players up there clapping for me.
But
congratulations, Coach Chlebech.
It's an honor to be here and to represent the program right now as the head coach of such a strong tradition of so many great players. And I was just looking at a helmet that Coach Woodone brought in, and it has signatures of all the Stark County Players of the Year on it. And the darn things like filled up with signatures. And it's just such a reminder of the rich tradition here, and you know, Tom, you were such a strong part of that, and you know, congratulations for this honor to be essentially immortalized into Leopard football forever as one of the greats, and you can see your number and your name up there on top of the Thomas family skybox. But you know, I don't know Coach Chlebech very well. I'm not from here, but I've interacted with him a few times. I went in to see my wife at work one day, and he was in there as a patient, and came in, got a chance to meet him, and you know, what a very humble guy. Was you know, really excited about what the future of Leopard football is, and just a strong, great man in this community, and a role model that our players can look up to of the work that you put in, how you help build Leopard football, and then you know, the legacy that you've carried on and continue to do. So again, congratulations, and thanks everyone for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Next up, a former Leopard player and head coach, my head coach from 1988 to 1999, and current school board member, Coach Rick Chrislin.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, John. Got my cheat sheet out of here. I don't want to miss anything. Every little boy in Louisville wanted to be Tom Chlebech. My brother Cotton, myself. Tom was idolized by many young Leopards, and he still is. Tom was an epitome of power, speed, wrapped up in a single dynamic power. He was notorious for being the last player in the huddle because he always had run the farthest away from the scrimmage. He always carried the football, of course. A little stat I got from Ed Matty. In 1964, a person by the name of Mark Steyer, Bob Gladio, both seniors, and Tom Chlebech, a junior, played for Haplilic. They ran an unbalanced wing T offense. I was fortunate enough to be coached by Tom and then coached with Tom. I remember my first year as a coach, Coach Chlebech grabbed me to the side and told me to basically just relax because these kids need patted on the back instead of kicked in the butt. And it works. It really works. There are two things I will always carry with me in coaching: patience and positive reinforcement. But the big thing I'm grateful is I can call Tom my friend. Coach Chlebech, your family's very proud of you. Your community is very proud of you. The Louisville Leopard Nation appreciates all you have given to this district and this city. Congratulations as a player and a coach. I'll help you out. You stay seated over there.
Thanks a lot, Rick. Appreciate it. All right, thank you, Coach. Next up, 2009 Stark County High School Hall of Famer, 2023 Ring of Honor inductee here at Louisville, former Leopard great, former Rose Bowl MVP, Mark Steyer.
Thank you. Oftentimes we are influenced by the people that are around us. One of the strong influences for me as a kid growing up, now remember I grew up in the Steyer Funeral Home, okay? You didn't get a lot of kids wanting to come to your house to play. but I would constantly go to other houses to play, one of which was the Chlebech house. That seemed to be the rounding point for almost everybody. So we spent a lot of time together, a lot of time playing, and we didn't know at the time we would be, there was no aspirations of college or anything beyond that. It was just a couple kids having fun, and we had a lot of fun with your family. So Tom, I just wanted to thank you for all that you've done, and the Chlebech family. They've molded a lot of young men. God bless you.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. All right, next up, if you could please direct your attention to the scoreboard. It's Todd Porter, who's Director of Communications and Data Analytics at Jackson, and also a former member of the Stark County High School Hall of Fame induction selection committee. So take a look.
Thanks, John, and congratulations to the Louisville football program and this great community. It is honorable and awesome this night stitches the present and future of Louisville football to its celebrated history. I'm sorry that I could not be here tonight to celebrate with you, but as a selection committee member for the Stark County High School Football Hall of Fame, I love being a part of this night. All across our country, you can find examples of where local lore and history is forgotten, but not here, not in Louisville. Tom Chlebech was the perfect running back to come along in 1965. As a freshman, Tom was only 5 feet tall and weighed just 95 pounds. Older players loved seeing him line up on the other side in practice. That didn't last very long. By the time Tom was a senior, he grew 10 inches and gained 100 pounds. He was a hard-nosed running back, inducted in the Stark County High School Football Hall of Fame class of 2019. Tom had a school record 31 touchdowns and led the Leopards to a perfect 10-0 season in 1965. He backed up Bob Gladjo on the 1964 team, another perfect 10-0 season. After being named the Stark County MVP in 1965, Tom went to Cincinnati.
In baseball. Tom had a front row seat for the transition from Hap Lillick to Paul Starkey. Louisville football was very, very good under Lillick, but Starkey was the right coach at the right time to take the Leopards to the next level. Bob Gladjo and Mark Steyer helped put the Leopards on the map with Lillick as the head coach. Tom scored 8 touchdowns in a 50-0 win over Minerva in the final game of the 1965 season. That was a single-game Stark County record. That game was sending a message. You see, over the years, the final game against Minerva could be a stumbling block. Starkey, however, kept the starters in most of that game against Minerva that year. Message sent and message delivered. Of course, Tom wasn't the only Chlebech in the Louisville backfield. After Tom graduated, his brother Mike took over at running back. Mike went on to play at Syracuse. Appropriately, it was the Little Leopard football program that started turning out great running backs. Hap Lillick came in from Massa, and as Tom said a few years ago, Hap woke up a sleeping giant. Tom Chlebech, however, grew into one. Louisville and Mr. Chlebech, congratulations on this well-deserved night. Please keep this tradition alive. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Well, it's time to hear from the man, the 1965 Stark County Player of the Year, University of Cincinnati Bearcat MVP baseball player, and on a personal note and a special note, my uncle. So, Uncle Tom, congratulations.
Thank you, John.
So I know you and I have just talked, we just did a little interview a little bit ago, but we just kind of want to touch upon a couple points that maybe these people don't know, or some of these these players need to listen to. So first and foremost, you grew up in Louisville, but you were part of the initial Little Leopard class in your 5th grade year. Can you tell us how that was and how it went, launching that program?
Well, from what I can remember, we had 4 teams divided up by the
the 4 sections of the city. And 5th graders played with the 8th graders, and you're on your own, kid. And the first year was flag football. That was a farce. It was tackle, 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 then take the flag off. So that only lasted 1 year, flag football. So, but yes, that was the starting point for Louisville football, because they weren't very good before that. So I was very, very proud to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Well, let's fast forward a handful of years to your senior year, 1965, coming off a year right before where you were the backup and really blocking back for Bob Glaggio, obviously a great player in and of himself. That year culminated in you scoring 198 points individually and your team going 10-0. Did you have any idea going into that season of what you individually and what that team was capable of achieving?
All I remember is left, went to Massillon, or Kent State, excuse me, and we had no assistants other than Paul Starkey at the time, so he became the head coach. And we picked up assistants here, there, everywhere, Minerva, Ted Street, Dad, Jack, and we picked up a guy from Cleveland, Euclid, Andy Alhemsick or Aljancic. Yeah, that's where I met my future brother-in-law. So anyhow, I was very, very proud to be a part of the birth of Louisville football.
Well, let's fast forward a little bit in that season to a memorable October night, your last game. Your team's 9-0, heading into arch rival at Minerva. You guys proceed to go on to a 62-0 win where you scored 50 points. You could put me on a basketball court by myself. I don't know if I could score 50 points. Tell us about that night, and tell us about scoring 8 touchdowns.
It was one of those things that we always had a tough game against Minerva. The last game of the year, sometimes they beat us, and sometimes it was 0-0, but they always gave us a heck of a ball game. Going into that game, I don't know what was any different, but we just knocked them right and left, and scoring was pretty easy back then. That game was a pretty easy game. So I told John before that there were 5 games that year that I never carried the ball the second half. We were beating up teams so bad that the second team offense played most of the second halves. So I was fresh. When he told me, go play the second half, I was tickled to death. Boy, it's a new experience. So beginning of the year, we'd always play like the Federal League schools, the Glen Oaks, the North Cantons, and Canton South. But the end of the season was Tri-County, so it was pretty easy pickings towards the end. So, but 50 points, I don't know. What can you say? I just ran the ball, and they blocked, and I thought it was a great team effort. Nothing but a team effort. It's always team first. Comes for me.
Absolutely.
There's no individuals in that game. And that's what I want to tell you guys up there. You guys are a team, and you better stick together as a team. And I mean, fight for your teammates. So there's no individuals in this game. So.
Absolutely. Well, you was brought up before about playing for Hap Lillick as a junior, which goes from a high school head football coach to Kent State on the staff there. But then a guy named Paul Starkey comes in and coaches your senior year. And a lot of these young guys wouldn't know that name, Paul Starkey, or not really know much about him. But the guy is a legend not only at Louisville, but really in the state of Ohio. Could you tell us about his coaching style, or what really clicked with you and him?
First of all, we as a seniors wanted to prove something. So when Paul was the coach, we really didn't know how he's going to coach, but we were going to show him. We were going to give him everything that we have. So what it came down to is Paul was all business, no rah, 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 nothing like that, and extremely intelligent, and we were just tickled and couldn't wait to play for him. And we just wanted to play ball. We were dead serious playing. So we had a real good group of juniors under us and a group of seniors. So anyhow, we were dead serious, and Paul knew what he was doing, and we did what he told us to do. So.
Awesome. Well, your career took you to the University of Cincinnati, where you played both football and baseball, and unfortunately your football career was cut short due to concussions, but had really a storybook career at baseball, including being team MVP and first team All-Missouri Valley Conference your senior year. And we could talk about that, and please join us or listen or watch it on the Spotlight Media Network for that interview. But really, to bring it back to Leopard football, what did it mean to you, looking back on it 60 years later, what did it mean to you to put on the blue and white?
To me, you develop or grow into leopard pride, and when I'm talking leopard pride, I mean from the lowest of the sophomores to the highest of the seniors. You're a team, and by golly, you fight like a team, you play like a team, you work out like a team. Everything is based on team effort, teamwork, and I've always been extremely proud of Louisville. Even coaching, when I coach later, you could just see it in the community, everything about it. I don't want to say this, but it's kind of like a smaller Massillon. You got the total townspeople behind you, the administration, the school, and all the parents, everybody. It's one big happy family that's working hard to get it together. And you guys up there, you're Louisville Leopards for the rest of your life. So to me, it's all about leopard pride. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, last but not least, Tom, I mean, talking to these guys, the team of 2024, about to embark on their season, is there any parting wisdom, because I think I had the good fortune of obviously not only growing up with you as my uncle, but playing under you both as a football and a baseball player. Your quiet confidence really resonated with the rest of the team when things got emotional or things got, got hectic. What kind of advice would you have the team as they embark on a brand new season as Louisville Leopards?
Stick together, and pull for each other. And it doesn't matter if the kid's a sophomore or a senior. You're all equal. And what's worse is when you get somebody that thinks they're better than the rest of the crowd, and it just irritates me. A team will always beat a bunch of individuals, always. So, and defense. I can't say it enough. To be successful, your defense has got to be the shining part of your team. The offense can score the points all day long, and it's kind of like the glory side. But to me, the defense is where you win ball games, and I'd take more pride in defense than I did in offense. So, go Leopards.
Well, let's give them a round of applause, please. Well, I tell you what, you don't get a chance to really celebrate someone who's part of 3 Hall of Fames, whether it's the Stark County High School Football Hall of Fame, the Stark County Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame, or the Louisville High School Hall of Fame. So, Tom Chlebech, thanks for joining us, and congratulations once again.
Wait.
Oh.
I know it's maybe not too late, but I want to make sure you know that Joni Aljancic is my sister. So she keeps telling me that people in Louisville don't know it or don't realize it or what, but I told her I would mention it. She is a Chlebech. So Aljancic, Chlebech. Okay.
I look forward to meeting her. So. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. And once again, congratulations, Tom Chlebech, and welcome to the Ring of Honor.
Thank you. Nephew John.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. You guys did a wonderful job. Mark, thanks for coming. I got you, big boy. Mark, thanks a lot. Good luck this season, boys. Thanks, Brian.